Welcome into No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. I'm your host, Joe Zolo, back after a week of lovely bronchitis, folks. Never go on a cruise ship. It's the worst thing ever on planet Earth. Everybody got a disease, and you will never see me on one of those ever again. It was for work. I did not go. It was against my will. Loved it. Banana Land at Sea was great. Tight ends, baby. What a week to come back. I really wish I had bronchitis this week. I really wish I could have missed this week. Not because I love our guest. He's fantastic, but just this fucking position. We said it in the pre-show. We're going to spend 17 minutes talking about this position and then probably just ramble on about the combine and other things that there's actually some pretty decent news and notes that have happened here over the last 48 to 72 hours here in the NFL. So we have some fun stuff coming up as free agency in the new league year approaches. Let's get into it. Welcome into No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. I am your host, Joe Zolo. Josh and Ryan, bottom corners, and I think it's every year for the tight end show, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Chris Allen, how are you?
I'm doing quite well, man. And I know that you were saying that you wish you still had bronchitis, but of course that means you would have missed kicking it with me for at least an hour or so. So
that's what I said.
I'm a little bit upset that you were saying that you.
That's why I prefaced. I said it is no disrespect to our guest. It's just a disrespect to the position.
This is what Joe does every single time we have a show centered around tight ends.
Yeah.
In his opening monologue, he does nothing but shit on the position. And then he wonders why these are always our lowest rated episodes every time.
Right. Out after the intro. To be fair, Chris, he had his out. It's definitely not a you thing because I just texted him, Joe, are you with us tonight? So that I can mentally prepare to host. And he's like, oh, I'm back, baby.
I'm back. I mean, what am I? Against my will, like I'm back, but like I'm here.
Yeah. No, you summoned up the courage. You summoned up the will. You are powering through. This is going to be like your Michael Jordan flu game right here.
Obviously.
This is you. This is you summoning up
inflate his ego more, Chris.
Everything that you had in order to be on the show with me. Let's just call it what it is. Okay.
Every tight end show I do is a Michael Jordan game. Flu game for me.
Keep in mind, the Michael Jordan flu game occurred, I think, 6 years before Joe Zolo was born.
God, man, that makes me feel so old.
Yeah, it makes you feel old.
1998.
Feel so old, my gosh, man. But no, man, I'm doing quite well. And I appreciate y'all having me on. And it's been like a crazy offseason. I know most folks probably say that afterwards because it feels like it's such a rush right after the Super Bowl. I mean, we're less than a month away from the Super Bowl, and there's been so much news, whether it's been from the combine, whether now we're getting into free agency. I mean, the NFL does not stop for us to take any much of a breath, and we've got the draft right around the corner from us. So no, I mean, I appreciate y'all having me on, and let's get into it, man. Even though it is a relatively boring position, there is still a way that we can come up with some stuff that we can give the listeners. So let's get on with it, man.
I just want to jump in there, Chris. You're absolutely right. We had Kendall Valenzuela on a few weeks ago, and I said the same thing. I'm like, there's just no offseason anymore. Literally, we're just right back into this.
Right, and just wait until they tack on that extra week. We get that extra week in the season, and it's just to be even more time for us to either talk about what's going on in the current season, what's going on for the next season. It's just they're going to try and find a way for us to be doing this stuff year round, I swear.
Yep.
Please don't add another week. That was just
they're definitely
it's coming, man.
I know it's coming. Okay. They need a second bye week then because there's no way that they do that and everything. It's going to start turning into the NBA. We're going to have load management days.
Yep, 100%.
Right, yeah.
Which you don't want. So
one of the proposals I read from the NFLPA, this is when it first got brought up, is that the teams will play 18 games, but players will be capped at 16 games with the exception of quarterbacks.
Okay.
Yeah. This was nightmare fuel for fantasy football.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Nightmare fuel. Mm-hmm. So, no thank you. Remember, like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Pull or Tiffy, that is Apple and Spotify if you use their government names, or any other podcast platform, hit the follow button. Every time. It gets you every time.
Every time.
I've been doing it for weeks.
I said it for you last week, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Julia looked at him like, what?
Yeah, Julia almost left the show instantaneously.
Yeah, that checks out. Super chat, if you want to jump the long line here in the off season, you're more than welcome to with any of your questions, and also hop on the Discord Josh will drop that link in here in one moment, wherever you're watching. Teams with tight end questions. All of them. Because they all suck.
Except Arizona and
Arizona and Vegas. They're pretty set. Everybody else sucks. The Eagles, Dallas Goedert led all tight ends and touchdowns. Everyone else is a free agent. The Chiefs, Travis Kelce's 37 and a free agent. Don't worry, guys. They're running it back with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Eric Bieniemy. So they'll all be back together, and it'll all be one happy little family. The Commanders, Zach Ertz, a free agent and coming off a career-ending torn ACL, so he's just not going to play again. Retire, Zach, please. There's no reason. There's no reason for you to come back. Zero. Please retire.
Competitors don't like ending on.
I will say there is a reason for him to come back. There's a social media handle that says, "Did Zach Ertz break a tackle?" And it always just says no after he catches the pass. I want that account to continue to live on. I mean, that's one of my favorite accounts.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
That's amazing.
Just go home to your wife. Like, Julie's waiting for you. Like, please just do that. Stop hurting yourself. The Broncos, Evan Ingram disappointed. Sure. The Dolphins, Darren Waller's a free agent. Yep. This is what we're talking about in March.
The rapper?
Hunter Henry could be a cap casualty. I would be shocked on that one. Austin Hooper is a free agent. The Ravens, depth behind Mark Andrews or replace Mark Andrews. One of the two.
Except they just signed him to a 3-year extension.
Replace Mark Andrews. I mean, we could do that as well. And really any team without McBride and Bowers, as we started off this entire show by saying, welcome to the tight end segment, everybody, where we're not here to really inform you too much because everybody sucks. We're here to just make fun of people. So that's my job. And Josh rolls his eyes every time I say that when it comes to this fucking position. But whether we all want to admit it or not, I will admit it. Bad position. Everybody sucks. Which team is the best landing spot for fantasy football success, Chris? Because there are actually, if we do get somewhat of a decent tight end, there are some decent landing spots with these current question marks.
So I'll give the boring answer, and that's the Chiefs. If there's going to be a best landing spot for fantasy football, at least for our purposes here, I'm not going to talk about like real football. I'm saying for fantasy purposes, the best landing spot for any tight end still would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Over the past 3 seasons, Kansas City has ranked top 12 in terms of targets to the tight end position. That's been 3 out of the last 3 years. Also, they've got this guy named Patrick Mahomes under center. Pretty good football player from what I've been told. Numbers kind of bear that out as well. Past 3 years, one of 3 quarterbacks to rank top 10 in both EPA per dropback and also dropbacks per game. This is also the same offense that has Andy Reid as their play caller. From a scheme perspective, they do allow their tight ends to run a number of routes, which for a tight end, that's really what you want out of the guy. I mean, that's one of essentially your entry barrier to getting some of the fantasy points that we would want, like for our purposes. And over the last 3 seasons, tight ends, and not just Travis Kelce, because they've had, I mean, any other guys that have been working behind Kelce over the past 2 or 3 years or so. I mean, overall, collectively, tight ends for the Chiefs, they've ranked 3rd, 2nd, and 5th in total routes run. So even if they don't bring Kelce back, they could have any of the other guys like running behind him because, again, like Joe was saying, the man's like 37, 38 years old. He's just a few years younger than I am out there running routes and getting his cardio in on a week in, week out basis. So if they were to try and invest or get younger at the position and bring in whether it's a free agent or we'll talk about some of the guys that we've been hearing about that were running over at the combine just last week. If they were to invest or try and get younger at the tight end position, I think Kansas City is and should be like the best landing spot for a tight end at this point for fantasy.
Josh Ryan, anything different?
Just to tack onto that, I went back and looked at the Bieniemy years, the last couple of years with Bieniemy there. Obviously, this is Kelce in his prime. They were averaging 180 targets to the tight end. Now, obviously, new player may not command that kind of target share, but I still think the position is going to be heavily involved. Along those same lines, you just want teams that are going to be willing to target the tight end when you look at their offenses. I think we need to keep an eye on Washington and Miami. Bobby Slowick with Miami obviously had Dalton Schultz, not heavily targeted, but we're talking about 85 targets plus in his 2 years with Dalton Schultz. Washington, we talked about Ertz. Ertz was fantasy relevant when he was healthy. And as wild as that seems, we don't know David Blau, but he worked under Kingsbury. We have to expect something similar. and you expect the tight end to be involved there as well. Those two teams strike me as teams with consecutive years over 100 targets to the tight end, which means if they could get a straight up tight end one, unchallenged tight end, there could be 80 to 90 targets available, and that's what's going to make you fantasy relevant.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are interesting too. And the reason that I put Hunter Henry as, could be a cap casualty, it's the age. I mean, he's over 30 heading into the season. There's no depth behind him with Austin Hooper being a free agent. We know how much Josh McDaniels likes to target the tight end position within his offense. And where the Patriots are at cap wise, I think they're a little over 30 million available. So it's not the end of the world if they keep him, but by cutting Hunter Henry, you're still saving close to 9 million. So that's additional money that you could go through, add somebody maybe that's younger, or continue to add to the defense, offensive line, whatever it may be, or bring in a wide receiver one, right? At the end of the day, the answer to this question is the Chiefs. They're one of the most high-profile offenses. They have a tailor-made system for a tight end, but they don't have a legitimate wide receiver too, plain and simple. So when we're talking about fantasy football, we want our tight ends to either be the number one in targets or at minimum the number two, right? That's what this offense bears, because Xavier Worthy has not taken a leap, and we don't know what we're getting with Rashee Rice right now. Yeah. So there's a chance that whether it's Kelsey coming back or maybe they make a bigger splash, whoever ends up as the starter in Kansas City, we could be looking at a top 5 tight end in fantasy football.
100%.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's the common thread across each of the teams that both you, Josh, and Ryan have kind of laid out. It's even in Washington, you take a step back and look at their depth chart. Deebo Samuel's probably not going to be there this coming season. That's the reading the tea leaves. That seems to be the case. I don't think Brandon Ayuk is going to go there at this point. I mean, there's really just rumors as of right now. So who on that team is going to be really commanding targets from Jaden Daniels at this point? Not too many pass catchers, at least at this point, that I would say that should command the type of volume that you would really think of to be an alpha wide receiver. The same thing for the Patriots. I mean, that was kind of the lament throughout most of the season, was that, yeah, they've got Stephon Diggs. They're able to get there with some contributions from Mac Hollins. But even if they were to add somebody legitimate or even bring a guy like Hunter Henry back, it's okay, well, they should command probably 4, 5, 6 targets per game, because there aren't too many other receivers currently on the team that at least allow you to use them or funnel a number of targets to them on a week in, week out basis. So I think across all those teams, even the Chiefs, kind of to what you guys are both saying, whether it's Rice or whether it's Worthy, I mean, neither of them are really getting it done from an efficiency standpoint. I mean, Rice, yes, but the off the field stuff that's going on at Rice right now, we don't know how much he's going to be available. In 2026 and beyond. So it's just how many targets are the rest of the guys outside of the people at least we know of that are going to be a part of that squad moving forward. In any one of those cases, I mean, can we really make the case for that? Oh, okay, well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to drop back, let's say 600 times. Just go ahead and just pencil in, let's say 150 for Rice. But then after that, it's where do the other 450 go?
Yeah.
Same thing for Drake May and the rest of the others guys. It's Stephon Diggs is not going to be there with the Patriots next year. So what, you're going to give Mac Hollins, the guy that makes fun of people for eating soup because you have to use a spoon in order to eat it, you're going to pencil him in for 150 targets? No.
Yes.
I mean, any of the other guys, it's it's the same case all the way around. So I think even if they were to just add just off the top of the list of the guys, the free agents that are out there, Dallas Goedert or whomever, you can already see that you can already make the case for them popping into, at the very least, the top 10-ish from a fantasy standpoint, just from the volume that they should command within those respective offenses.
What I love about the call out with Washington is when I was looking into my projections for Jaden Daniels, for a running quarterback, he doesn't score a lot of red zone touchdowns. He had 6 in that electric rookie year, only 2 in his half season last year as a rushing quarterback. But in those same 2 seasons, we saw 7 from Zach Ertz and then 4 from Zach Ertz last year. He will use the tight end in the red zone. And that's the most supremely important thing in fantasy football is I don't care how many balls a tight end catches between the 20s. I need him used near that end zone. And that's what we're seeing in this Washington offense. Again, assuming David Blau is somewhat predictable as a offshoot of Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, some of what I've heard with David Blau is that we're going to see a lot of influences from Ben Johnson's offense, which
even better.
I was going to say that's even better when you look at what he was able to do with Sam Laporta and then Colston Loveland last year in Chicago.
Right.
So this next question that is in the show sheet is posed: which team will make the biggest splash at tight end this offseason? I'm going to rephrase it. Who's overpaying Isaiah Likely, Chris?
I'm going to make the case for the Tennessee Titans.
Good. You didn't say the Patriots. Continue.
Nah, I think the Patriots, it's almost like a too much of a linear, like kind of dot pointing or dot connecting between like anybody that wants to try and sign with the Patriots, just because everybody's saying, especially after the Super Bowl, that the Patriots need dudes.
They're signing Kate Otten. That's just
probably
average white tight end. Kate Otten. Thank you. Thanks for coming to the show, buddy.
Yeah, but at least for Tennessee, I think you can make the same case for the Titans as you can for the Patriots. They just need guys on that roster in order to help Cam Ward. Because pop quiz, who was the leading pass catcher for the Titans in 2025?
Shamir DK.
No.
Eli Kelly.
Manor.
Chig Okonkwo.
Really?
Liar.
Most receiving yards. Most receiving yards out of the entire crew.
Okay, I thought we were talking receptions here. I thought we were talking the stat that mattered.
No, yards is what matters. Okay,
yeah,
not receptions. Yards is what matters. All right. Last I checked,
guys, it's not about how long it is. It's about how you use it. Continue.
Fair enough. But I'm saying, like, we were talking.
I'm just going to jump in for Chris real quick. He led them in receptions as well.
And, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Great. Didn't lead him in targets. Chig was second in targets.
Yeah,
behind A. Manor.
But still, it's like I think a lot of folks like Chim DK as your speed slot, poor man's Tyler Lockett like type. Okay, he's fine. Yeah. A.O. Manor, all right, playing on the outside. Okay, fine. I'm assuming they're going to move on from Van Jefferson, but they need guys, right? They need some pass catchers. And surprisingly enough, and I was looking into this, so they got Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator working there now in Tennessee. I mean, he was the Patriots tight ends coach for a number of years.
Yeah.
I mean, got some pretty solid tight end play out of the Patriots last I checked, especially during those years. I mean, if you can make the case for them trying to bring in essentially anybody at this point, because I think they're top 5 or so in the amount of cap space that they have. They can pretty much, they can go in whatever direction that they want in terms of building out this roster. And we've seen how, even when Daboll was the head coach out in Buffalo, we started to see things with Dawson Knox at the earlier parts of his career. Even when things were going south in New York, we did see some splash plays from the tight ends within New York as well. So if there's a way that they could essentially cheaply start to build or start to add some explosive playmakers around Cam Ward, if they were to try and add, to your point, Joe, they were to add a player like Isaiah Likely to that squad at a relatively cheap price tag, I can see that happening. And that would honestly make sense to me versus them trying to go after people have tossed out the AJ Brown reunion, which is like, that's never going to happen. It's like trying to get those alpha wide receivers that are reportedly out there on the market. It's like, no, how about you could go the more practical route and get a tight end that can do at least some of the same things in terms of offering some pass catching stability to your young quarterback.
Chris, was I wrong I kind of liked what I saw from Gunnar Helm last year. You don't think they'll give him a shot at the job?
I would say that's fine, but you can still add more dudes.
Yeah,
especially now with the league starting to push for more like 2 tight end sets out on the field, you could see it. You could make the case for having both those guys out there, and especially since Helm can also operate. He's more of your wide tight end than anything else. So if he can offer at least something as a blocker, likely he's not going to do that. But still, you could have both those guys out on the field simultaneously and still have Chim DK running around, A.R. Manor on the outside, and still operate your offense similarly with whatever else they want to add throughout the draft.
There you go.
Josh, anything to add on Isaiah Likely going to the Titans?
I actually thought about that, but for every single one of these shows, I've had the Titans making the biggest splash. So I was like, I got to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, Julia called Josh out. Said that they're going to have to run an 85-man roster next year to cover all the players Josh wants to go there.
They need it.
Right. Well, they've got, as of right now, they have the second most cap space. They're bringing a lot of people in. Let's call a spade, right? So
you got to spend it, especially if you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract. You got to spend that money.
Yeah, I mean, I have a different landing spot for likely, which honestly, even when I was going through and looking all of this, I didn't see one that really stood out where I was like, this is where I want him to go. But I think in terms of just like a splash, and again, it's probably not going to be like a big like cannonball splash, but like Philly has literally no tight ends on the freaking roster. So like they're bringing in bodies, whether it's a bunch of 1-year deals, whether they, re-sign, Dallas Goedert to a 2-year contract or something along those lines, or maybe they go with a name, like a bigger name, but like a David Njoku or maybe a Chigoziem Okonkwo, but, they kind of front load it and they just do like a 1-year prove it deal kind of thing. I think that they're going to make some moves at the tight end position on top of drafting somebody within the first couple of rounds because they don't have anybody under contract right now. And you have to bring in people because the tight end in this offense is utilized very heavily. I mean, we saw how effective Dallas Goedert was, and I understand it's going to be a different scheme this coming year, but if Sean Mannion, the new OC that's coming in, takes some cues from what Matt LaFleur was running, look at somebody like that is in the mold of like a Tucker Kraft that can block, but can run those types of seam routes and get down the field that is athletic enough. That's the kind of tight end that they're ultimately going to target. And I think there's some options, not only in this free agent class that can fit that mold, but also in the draft.
Only other team I was going to throw out is Denver. They have a decent amount of cap space. Peyton's scheme still seems to involve the tight end heavily. There are some interesting guys in this free agent class that could do a little bit more for them than what they got from a very aging Evan Ingram.
I wonder about that, especially, because now it's not Sean Payton's scheme anymore. Remember, it's going to be Davis Webb's. He's going to be the one that's doing the play calling at this point. So I wonder how things are going to shift. But at the same time, you could see I don't want Broncos fans or whatever to come after me afterwards, but it's like you could see the limitations in Bo Nix in terms of how he likes to operate on the field, where you have your boundary perimeter receiver in a guy like Courtland Sutton, but then afterwards it's your screens, it's your short 8-out passes, it's the get the ball out quickly to your receiver and let them work after the catch.
Oh my God, hold on, Chris. So this sounds really familiar to me. You're describing Drew Brees, correct?
Well, late career Drew Brees. Now, earlier parts
last 8 years of his career, Drew Brees. Continue.
Yes, I mean Hall of Famer Drew Brees, but still.
Listen, if I threw Dick and Duncan slants to Michael Thomas for 5,000 yards a season, I'd also be a Hall of Famer. I'm not shitting on Drew Brees. I'm just saying the guy didn't. Sure? He is he's a below 500 quarterback in the playoffs. He has 4 of his 8 wins in one playoff go. He has, I think, 5 one-and-dones in the playoffs. Oh, and his head coach is a fucking ding-dong, by the way. So, continue, Chris. Sorry.
Man, just don't go to New Orleans, man. They're going to be looking out for you, man.
Yeah.
Just want to bring that up.
Don't go down to Bourbon Street, man. They will find you.
I will be in New Orleans next week. My hotel is 200 feet from Bourbon Street. I will go there and scream.
He's not going to make it out.
You're not going to make it out,
guys. Man. We play in the Superdome. I'll just say it, in the Superdome. Like that's where we are next week. So
I think that Superdome going to be your last stop.
Exactly. They're going to ban you from the Superdome.
I'm going to be fielding. I'm going to be fielding balls in left field, and I'm going to throw it further than Drew Brees ever has on that turf. Guaranteed. Continue.
Joey Zolo, noted Drew Brees hater. I did not know this.
Overrated. I think he's just overrated. I think we've overplayed him. He's a great quarterback. He's just so highly overrated.
Oh man, I love it. But still, I would say that if Denver were to add or make any changes at the pass catcher position, adding another tight end, even though it's going to suck for fantasy, because we're going to look at it just like, oh, it's going to be Evan Ingram 2.0. They're going to have somebody out there on the field. He's going to be getting his cardio in every week, but he's not going to get any targets because it's going to be a dump off pass to RJ Harvey. It's going to be a quick pass to Troy Franklin. They're going to try and do something with Mims. Then it's going to be a deep shot to Courtland Sutton. And then maybe or maybe not, we might get a target to tight end X yet to join Denver. And it's really how the offense is going to operate. It's going to be maddening on a week-to-week basis.
My favorite thing when talking about this team, and I pulled up the wrong year here. But it's a classic Sean Payton thing. Remember when Robert Meacham would have just 3 games where he would just fucking go off?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who the hell's Robert Meacham? He had 638 receiving yards that year, but for some reason he was fantasy relevant for 5 weeks. Devery Henderson, remember that name?
Oh yeah,
fantasy relevant.
I had him on
no
the team.
Fucking reason was Devery Henderson fantasy. Why was he fantasy relevant, guys? Because he was in a Sean Payton offense. Lance Moore, dog.
Yeah, Lance Moore.
Why?
The key appeals,
this is the 2010 team, and this is when they had Jeremy Shockey. So if I even go further into it, when Jimmy Graham was actually Jimmy Graham, again, like the dump offs. Darren Sproles had 86 catches.
Yeah.
Like that's how Sean Payton runs his team. Again, Devery Henderson had 500 yards and 2 touchdowns for no reason, for 0 reason. So yes, whoever goes to Denver, like there's a chance they make a splash for that reason. But
I kind of just went with them because I don't know. I don't remember when this. My worry here is that Travis Kelce holds Kansas City hostage because if he's going to retire, he needs to do it like tomorrow, before we dive into free agency, because Kansas City's not going to move until Travis Kelce tells them to move, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And so while they do have the money after what they did with Mahomes' deal, I don't know that they're going to be willing to spend it. Now, here's the thing. His ass is gone next year, so maybe you still go out and get somebody. And so I was just looking for other teams that have the cap room and have the need, and that's kind of where I landed on Denver. So
right, because none of the other options of teams that have money right now, they're not fun. Who wants to project a tight end going to the Steelers because they've got money? Nobody wants to do that.
Same
or
thing with the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers have 90 some odd million, but we like what we saw out of Oronde Gadsden. So we don't want a tight end going there. And I've seen mock drafts that have them taking Kenyon Sadiq in the first round. And I'm just like,
why?
What are we doing?
Like, I don't even know who that is.
Oh God.
He's very fast.
Yes.
Cool.
Which means
you know who else was fast?
Daniel loves him.
You know who else was fast? Xavier Worthy.
But not the same size.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts was once really fast too. And
I'd say Kenyon Sadiq slightly bigger than Xavier Worthy. And by slightly, very
50 pounds.
Yeah.
Actually more than that.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, listen, I'm about to read you off this stellar list of free agent tight ends. I don't think you're ready for this. Best class we've ever had. There's a chance this is true.
I was going to say that might actually be a true statement.
It might be a true statement. The big fish, hold yourself back. All right. You're going to need 2-3 people to haul in these fish. Isaiah Likely. Whoa. You ready for the next one? I actually like this guy. I have nothing bad to say about David Njoku. I like David Njoku a lot. We've all said if David Njoku had a better quarterback, he'd probably be a top 5 tight end in the NFL. He's we love David Njoku. He's just now 30, so RIP.
Still,
he will go to another team and 100% help out that team, more so from a football relevancy standpoint, and I think less from a fantasy football standpoint, unless, again, maybe he goes to Washington and things go really well because it fits. There's a potential for that, but I think Njoku plays better from an actual football standpoint. Dallas Goedert, again, great receiver. He's just 31, so he's just going to be slower than you're expecting. Isaiah Likely is probably going to be the big guy because he's 26. Depth pieces. How dare you disrespect the Titans' leading receiver in Chickasimo Okonkwo, call him a depth piece. You piece of shit. Josh wrote the script, by the way. Cade Otton, 27, future New England Patriot, because he's white. Noah Fant, 29. Daniel Bellinger, 26, along with Greg Dulcich, who's also 26.
Nice
Connor Hayward.
Shout
out. Connor Hayward.
The tush push merchant.
He was the one that did the tush push?
In Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
That just literally, I could care. The amount of care I have for the Steelers is so little. Like, I had no idea that was even a thing. I had no idea that.
I just think it's hilarious that the league tries to ban the tush push and then Philly just stops running it, but then everybody else runs it.
Yeah.
And now it wasn't even on the docket to get banned this year. And I'm just like, okay, so really you just hate Philly. Cool. Awesome.
Yes, correct. And then Jake Tonjes, he's a restricted free agent. There's probably a good chance if the offer's decent, San Francisco is going to match it because Kittle's injury history, Tonjes filled in very well, so should work.
Yeah.
Aging. Do they have anything left? Don't worry, I'll answer that for you. Travis Kelce. No. He has nothing, guys. He has nothing left. Like wide open passes that he's just dropping at his
and
chest.
yet still was top 5 in tight end receiving yards last year. He's got plenty.
Josh, that's how bad the position is.
I mean, I get it, but it's not like we're talking 600 yards. He had almost 900 receiving yards last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do
Travis Kelce is still better than most.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what, guys. You're further proving my point. A 37-year-old Travis Kelce is still a top 5 tight end in a league where that shouldn't happen.
I think it speaks more to the offense he was in, though, because we were talking earlier about how much Mahomes throws the ball, at least while he was healthy before his knee went kablooey. But still, the opportunity in that offense, if they were to have a younger version of Travis Kelce, like an athletic tight end, you could see how we would immediately vault them up into the Trey McBrides, the Brock Bowers of the world. Like you could see that happening.
100%. Zach Ertz, go home to your wife. You probably have kids. Go home to them too. Like please stop. It's too much. Just end your career, please.
Competitors don't like ending on notes that he ended on last season. That's
he's already said he wants to play, right? That was the news.
I thought he did say that. Yeah.
Hey, I know what he said.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Joe's just trying to convince him otherwise.
Right.
No, and that's fair. I just
like,
wanted to make
should
sure.
he do that? Is the question.
I just want to make sure I read it correctly. That it's the Washington's letting him go, but he does intend to play this year.
Can you pull Avonte Davis just like retire at halftime? Like just catch a touchdown in the first half, then retire at halftime. Like that's all we need. Like that's it. We'll get you on the field, buddy. That's easy. Darren Waller, 34. Nope. Tyler Higbee. He's still alive. Like his name's listed.
The Rams will re-sign him. I have a feeling they'll just re-sign him.
Yeah.
It's either him or like you said, like Kate Otten as a Patriot. I can see Kate Otten as a Ram.
Why, Chris? Why? Tell me why.
Because he's white and he runs routes.
He's white? Is it because he's white?
Yeah, he's a white tight end that runs routes.
Hey, that's my reasoning for every white tight end to go to the Patriots. It's fine. Yeah. That's my reasoning for every white receiver to be a Patriot.
Fair.
It does seem that the Rams and Patriots have a type.
Yes, they definitely have a type.
Listen, Ryan, I'm not telling you that they might be slightly racist, but what I am saying is it does track when you look at the history.
I mean,
I don't know. It feels so much more racist.
Not gonna lie, it is Boston. So
I was gonna say it feels so much more racist for the Patriots than it does the Rams for whatever reason.
Guys, I work for an organization that just revived the Indianapolis Clowns, a former Negro League team. I can't tell. Like every time there's even just a slight little like hint at racism, I'm like, oh, it's because we have the Clowns. Like it's immediately just immediate jokes flying in the office.
Yeah.
Oh. It's so good. And then Jonnu Smith released on Wednesday by the Steelers. Someone will pick him up.
Oh, certainly.
Someone will pick him up.
Arthur Smith's in college now, so maybe not. Who knows?
I was about to say, like, really? We really think that Jonnu Smith is going to find a home?
The NCAA is allowing people to go back to college.
Does he have any eligibility left?
It doesn't fucking matter if you have eligibility left at this fucking point. The NCAA is corrupt. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll figure out a way. Can you imagine? It's Arthur Smith and Matt Patricia just living their best lives, not really, in Columbus, Ohio.
Yep. About an hour away from me.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible. Doesn't sound fun. So no rebuttal from the resident Ohio and the former resident Ohioan. That's what they call themselves, correct?
I mean, other than it just being cheap to live here, I mean, that's what we got.
Yeah.
It's cheap to live in fucking Alaska. Just go like.
No, it's not.
I'd say no, it's not.
It's cheap to live in North Dakota. I know that for a fact.
That sounds terrible, though.
Okay, listen, Mr. Ohio over there.
Chris, I think we're shedding a light on how the rest of the world looks at Ohio.
Yeah,
right.
Let's not throw stones in a glass house. Like it's not.
All right, but North Dakota ain't nothing to do in North Dakota. I could at least drive over to either.
What do you mean? I was 6.5 hours from the nearest international airport. What do you mean there's nothing to do in North Dakota? What do you mean?
Just made my case.
What do you mean? There's a river. Like,
yeah, they can get on a boat.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Where can you go to see the world's largest Holstein cow statue, the world's largest buffalo statue, and the world's largest turtle statue made out of green tires?
Where
else
nothing.
Can you see that?
I got nothing.
That's what I thought.
All right, so
4.5
North
hours
Dakota,
from Mount Rushmore,
Ohio. I got it.
Yeah, this fucking guy. Where else is it $700 to fly round trip out of the fucking regional airport?
That's insane.
Yeah, idiot. Anyways, questions. This is the show. This is the fucking tight end show. With Kyle Pitts off the market, which tight end becomes the must-have? Is there a must-have? Can we just can that be the question? Is there a must-have? Because there isn't. Spoiler alert.
I still think there's something to Isaiah Likely. When you look at his career as a whole, we're talking a guy who is at 194 targets for his career, has caught 135 of them. I kind of look at 194 as 2 seasons of an elite tight end. Well, if you break his numbers down, that would give him 67 catches, 784 yards, and 7 touchdowns per season. It's 187 fantasy points, which would make him the tight end 6 last season, which means if he goes somewhere where he is an 80, 90, 100 target guy, which feels possible, very possible, he is instantly fantasy relevant. I do believe Isaiah Likely is the prize of this class.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Out of, I think over, there were like 50 tight ends to register more than 30 targets like this past season. Isaiah Likely was one of 3 to have an average depth of target over 7 air yards, but having a yards after catch per reception over 4. It's basically like him, Dalton Kincaid, Colston Loveland, I think maybe like a couple other guys. Like he had the same, like from an explosive standpoint, also, 11% explosive catch rate. And so if you're looking for, and essentially that's where offenses are really starting to trend now, where it's like, yeah, you can dink and dunk your way like down the field, but unless you're a part of an offense that can create explosives, you're really not going to get anywhere from a scoring standpoint. So I can see him essentially being the guy that a lot of teams are going to covet, especially just because he doesn't have the requisite resume like some of these other guys, like a David Njoku, where we've seen all the highlights of, or even Dallas Goedert, who, went to the Super Bowl. It has all these guys that have these accolades. Likely is going to come in, at least from a cost perspective, under those guys. But from an athletic standpoint, you can already see how he can add some punch to any offense that he walks into if he becomes a tight end 1. So I could see him being like, again, I'm with you, Joe. I don't see him as being a must-have, but that's where, like we were talking earlier about Tennessee, where it's like, if you are looking at offense that needs dudes, Likely would be a guy that you could see him adding punch to an offense right off the rip. Same thing for Washington. Probably a lesser case for the Patriots, just because they at least have Travion Henderson, assuming he gets some more work, like guys that can at least, once they're gone, they're gone. Once they hit open space, they're gone. So at least they have a couple of guys that can speak to that from an explosive playmaking standpoint. But for Likely, if you list off all those guys, who would be the guy that, if you needed a bucket or if you needed somebody to create a play from a tight end position, he probably floats to the top of the list in my mind.
Again, it's like you go to the state fair and they give you a ribbon for first place. It's like, it's not a prize.
It's just because you happen to be there at the right time.
Yeah, it's a ribbon.
Well, that's what free agency is all about. It's hitting the market at the right time. And when there's not a clear-cut top guy, somebody's eventually going to be that, because
but that's the tight end market every year.
Maybe so, but you're looking at a league now that is favoring 12 personnel. You're seeing, Sean McVay basically revolutionize 13 personnel. This is a copycat league. How many teams do you think are going to follow that train now? Mm-hmm. So, tight ends are going to get paid, and we see it all the time where these tight ends will make 10, 12 million a year, and we're just like, they paid that guy, and then Josh they Oliver. Don't do and then they don't do anything.
Disley.
And then they don't do anything from a production standpoint, but they essentially become a 6th offensive lineman, and teams value that.
But he's not a great blocker.
He's not. No, I agree. Yeah. But when you look look at the amount of tight ends now that are actually being involved in the offense, where that wasn't the case 5 years ago. So that's where somebody like Isaiah Likely can make an impact. Yeah. For me, the answer to this question, though, is David Njoku, because we've seen it. And I think people are they're going to forget what he did before 2025. And they're going to be like, oh, well, he wasn't good enough to beat out a rookie. Dude, he got hurt.
Yeah.
And how dysfunctional is that offense? Like,
also,
they went through 4 different quarterbacks.
A rookie that's at NCAA records.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there. Not for the fact that obviously Njoku is now 30, is getting older, had an injury. He set NCAA records.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like the Browns don't have a number of other roster holes that they need to try and fix. I mean, their offensive line has issues, and they're probably, from a cap space standpoint, they're sitting at the back of the league in terms of how much money they have. So cutting David Njoku, I don't think is any reflection of his talent. It's just more of where the Browns are at organizationally, just given where they're at with the rest of the roster.
Yeah, They don't need him.
Yeah.
Looking at, like, again, I'm just looking at, like, I remember Will Dissly got signed for $8 million a year. I think it was 3 years, $24 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't think Isaiah Likely is going to get much more than that.
I disagree. I think he will. I think he'll top 10 million a year.
I think some team might overpay, but
I was gonna say
that's what happens in free agency.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're also comparing Will Dissly's deal, two years ago, to a hugely inflated salary.
In 5
cap.
years, the NFL salary cap has ballooned by over 100 million.
Sure. Inflate. 100%. I'll give you that. I'm just looking at, like, statistically, they were pretty similar in receptions and yardage for a few seasons. Mm-hmm. So I'm just telling you what GMs are probably going to look at, and they're going to say, hey, here's the stats. You, like, obviously, like,
and this is where things like advanced metrics come in, because if you're just looking at the macro side of it, sure, he didn't do much because he was playing behind Mark Andrews. It's a team that is run first. They're not a pass heavy offense. So you're not expecting somebody to light the league on fire. So you're essentially the same way that you're projecting college kids to succeed in the NFL, you're projecting Isaiah Likely to succeed during his second contract.
100%. I just don't think a team should pay him an exorbitant amount. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but, like,
but I think that's the case that I'm assuming Likely's agent is going to provide to any respective team, is that they're going to look at, I think they would come in like Joe is coming in right now and saying, well, just look at the stats. The man has had no more than, let's say, I don't think he's even topped 600 yards in a season. He
hasn't topped 500 yards in a season.
So they're just like, what am I paying for? Why would I pay for that? And then but then his agent will probably look at it and just be, all right, well, look at these stats. Look at how many explosive plays he can create. Look at how efficient he is with the targets that he gets. When he's on the field, look at how many contested catches he can make, how many first downs he can generate on a per route basis. I mean, there are ways that you can generate enough excitement to say he's just getting started. I mean, he's what, 25, 26?
He'll be 26 next season.
So he's just getting started, and he can grow into being something that's greater than where he's been at over these last 3 to 4 years, having to play behind Mark Andrews, being on a run first offense, having Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry being the guys that everybody's focusing on, Zay Flowers coming into his own. He was essentially the 5th player on that offense, if that. And so it's like, all right, well, if you want to at least provide a market value type contract around the 8, 9, 10 million range, you're paying for that. You're paying for that upside. You're swinging for the fences. And in some cases, a team that is flush with cash right now, like a Titans, like a Washington, a Patriots, or whomever, they can look at it and be like, all right, we've got the money. Yeah, we've seen the highlights. Does seem like he's got the talent. Let's give, what do you have to lose at that point? Especially if you do have the extra cap space to spare.
Well, I guess along that lines, I think this is probably going to be the same answer here. Who's going to finish as the highest tight end in fantasy football in 2026? If it's lining up to, hold on, we're
from
talking,
this class.
Okay. I was like Trey McBride, but
of course, or Brock Bowers.
It didn't say from this class, but I just figured, and I wanted to clarify. But I mean, at this point, Isaiah Likely, like,
it's whoever lands in Kansas City.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But,
okay, so then Daniel Bellinger, then, because he's going to wind up getting. Yeah, the Chiefs are going to sign him.
Wild. I'll take him. I'd still put my money on Bellinger at that point.
I think it's Likely at this point. Like, that's.
I still think it's Kelsey, but
I think Likely makes the most sense. It's only Kelsey if he ends up in Kansas City, which proves me right. I think Likely makes the most sense, but I do think Kansas City has the naturally best system for tight ends. And I do think if Kansas City signs a guy, even if that guy is K. Dotton or even Daniel Bellinger of this group, I think he is the best fantasy asset next season.
I agree.
It's Chiefs or bust for Kelsey. He's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. I would be hard pressed to believe. I can't say nobody, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that 31 other teams or any of the 31 other teams would want to invest in a 37-year-old tight end.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think it's would Travis Kelce, who's only played for the Kansas City Chiefs, would he want to play one more year for anybody else?
Yeah,
he wouldn't
go home.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's
like I guess then it'd be down to
the
Super Bowl
Cincinnati.
contenders.
Really,
Cleveland. He's from Cleveland Heights.
Yeah, he's from Cleveland.
And they're not in a position where it would make
Could
any
you
sense
imagine?
at all for them.
Oh, what a gross. Ugh.
It's how you end your career, man. Back home.
Yeah.
End it where you went to school.
I want to be very clear.
Yeah, end it where you went to school at least.
Well, he went to school in Cincinnati.
That's what I'm saying. At least go to a decent
That'd
team.
be wild.
Let's go to a team with a quarterback.
I don't want that.
No,
I don't know why.
It wouldn't make sense. I'm just saying if you're gonna go somewhere, go to a team.
I don't
with a
want
quarterback.
Travis Kelce on my team.
Why you don't want to? You don't want an elite run blocking tight end?
I'm good.
You sure? I heard Joe.
Yeah, they
Burrow
have Mike
needs
Gesicki for that.
I think he just run blocks by being in the way.
Yeah. I'm good. The Bengals have taken cast-offs from the Chiefs beforehand. They took Orlando Brown. It's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that didn't work out well.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a cast off from the Ravens as well?
It was
Wasn't I?
from the Ravens,
Yeah.
the Chiefs, then to the Bengals. Yeah,
I was like, he was originally a Raven. Okay.
Yeah.
He was decent on the Ravens. Am I not? Am I missing that?
Yeah.
Like,
No, you're
he
right.
was okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
he
he
was
got
decent.
exposed.
And
he's not his
then
father.
He got paid and everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys need to really tune into these contracts, years, and things like that. It's been a real thing very recently that guys perform super well. What is the best season DeMarcus Lawrence has had? Contract year.
Yeah.
What did he do? Got paid. What did he do the next year?
Got hurt.
Fuck all.
Yeah.
What's the 1 year Mike Williams played all 16 games?
Contract.
Got paid.
What did he do the next year, Ryan?
Got hurt.
Yep, correct. I can't make it up, guys.
Brandon
can't
Ayuk.
make it up. It's a perfect formula. Trey Hendrickson sets records in his contract year. Then he did it again the following year, but he set records in his contract year. It's just perfect. Is there an off-the-radar tight end who could change teams and become/remain fantasy relevant? I so badly want Chigakonko to go to a good team because
that's my answer.
It's 100%. That has to be the answer.
I am a sucker for Chigakonko.
He's good.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you look at just like we talk about run blocking, right? He has gotten progressively worse as a run blocker in the league. But I think it's hilarious because when you look at when the downturn started, it was when Brian Callahan took over as the Tennessee head coach. Well, so now it becomes, was it the shitty ass system? Because clearly it was a bad system, but that's why Callahan got fired.
Yeah, he's bad.
Or did Chigakonko just truly suck? And I think that's going to be a legitimate question. But when I look at Chigakonko, the dude is so athletic. Like his rookie season, 14.1 yards per reception. He got down the field. He could stretch the field. He could do the things that you want from a tight end. Yeah. But the way that he was used after that season, he basically morphed into Evan Ingram. Like he was another guy that we thought was so athletic that could stretch the field and, make all these big plays, explosive plays, all that stuff. And he's been nothing but an inside the tens merchant and a volume guy. And then Okonkwo just hasn't really got the volume. So where does he fit? And I think that's going to be a big question for Chig in this free agent cycle, because I don't think he's going to get, a 3-4 year deal, even though he's 27. I think you're probably looking at a 1 year deal. And then it becomes
get it 2.
I think with a lot of these tight ends, like the guys that are going to get multi-year tight ends are ones that are elite blockers because they have a place on the offense, or they're going to be absolute studs. Like it's going to be likely because, he's 26 years old, right? It'll be Goddard that'll get a multi-year deal because he's performed. Those are really the only two guys that I think come out of the gates with that multi-year type offers. I think everybody else is going to be in, 1 year prove it deal land.
Yeah,
when I say 2 years, I say 2 year prove it with an out after one for the team, essentially.
But all free agent deals are that though, because they're all front loaded.
Yeah.
I think if you like him, then you can at least keep him under contract. And again, I don't know. I like Chigakonko a lot.
I do too.
I know that's Ryan's answer because he also loves
No.
Fuck you. You also love Chigazima.
So I promise you, I had this answer long before Chris made his joke in the last segment. I like Daniel Bellinger. I was disappointed when the Giants added Theo Johnson. When you look at this kid's career numbers, like an 82% catch rate, not anything that's going to blow you away in yards per catch, but he was 11 yards per catch last season, or 11 yards per target, 15 yards per catch last season. He's not a bad tight end. He's just never gotten a crack at it. I mean, he's never had more than 35 targets. But like I said, he's put up metrics that are interesting. If he ends up somewhere at a 65 to 70 targets, he's still not going to be a guy you're drafting, but he's going to make my streaming list if he's the guy somewhere.
That's what I was just about to say. He's going to be your week 8. I don't know what's going on. I need a tight end fill in Daniel Bellinger.
1,000%.
3 targets, 40 yards and a touchdown.
But those guys can save your season sometimes too if they have a 3-week stretch. So.
Yeah.
I just went back to look at the class for 2022 because obviously that is pretty much the young guys that we're talking about that are now free agents. Because you're looking at Trey McBride, the first tight end off the board. Pretty good pick in the second round.
He's all right.
Jelani Woods, Greg Dulcich, Jeremy Ruckert, who has a job because he can block. Kate Otten, Daniel Bellinger, Charlie Kohler, job because he can block. Jake Ferguson, obviously has done good things. Yeah. Isaiah Likely, Chigazima Okonkwo, Cole Turner, Tegan Quit for
the Texans.
Yeah.
Quinton Yarrow or whatever.
Quitoriano, I believe is how you actually say it. James Mitchell, Andrew Ogletree, Grant Calcaterra, Connor Hayward, who has a job because of his brother, John Fitzpatrick, Kieft, awesome name.
Oh, yeah.
And Nick Muse. Like that, again, tight ends just suck. Like, there's 3 guys, I think, from the list I just named, 4 guys from the list I just named that actually have contracts.
Yeah.
2 that are fantasy relevant to you, who are Jake Ferguson and Trey McBride. So that's just, I think you'll see a lot of these guys maybe get 2-year prove-it deals instead of just 1 because I think they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would
maybe.
If Will Dissly can get a 3-year fucking contract, these guys can get a 2-year contract. That's what I go into every offseason saying. What did Josh Oliver get? He got 3 years, right? 3 years, 30?
Yeah. And 3 years, 24, right?
Because he can block.
Yeah.
That's why he's there. All right, folks, we're in it. Landing spots. Where do we think they'll end up? Chris, Isaiah Likely, you said he's going to the Titans. Ryan.
The more I was looking over, I wanted to say Chiefs, but again, I'm worried about Travis Kelce holding them hostage. I think the Eagles try to make a move and get Isaiah Likely.
Josh.
You'll hate me, Joe. I actually put him at the Patriots. Like I said, I had a hard time trying to figure out.
If they don't overpay him, I'm fine with Isaiah Likely. But
and that's fair. I just think that with the way that Drake May played this past season with all the explosive plays, I think that Likely's game fits with what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They also need a guy who can block is the only thing.
I agree. Well, and maybe that becomes you keep Hunter Henry because he does know how to block, even though you haven't really used him that way. And then you use Likely as more of that move tight end that, stretches the defense.
Yeah, they, again, just historically, they normally, in a Josh McDaniels, they like both tight ends to block. Like, even when Hernandez was there, he still blocked pretty well for his size and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that because he's fucking from Massachusetts. Like, that's the connection there. He's from Everett. So,
cool.
Shout out Dad's alma mater and they were high school sweethearts. Dallas Goedert, Chris Allen, where's he going?
Goddard. All right. This might be a little off the wall.
Just say the Eagles.
I was honestly, no, I was going to say the Eagles. I could see him fitting with Washington, though, to be quite honest with you.
All right. Another old, washed up Philly white tight end goes to Washington. Ryan.
They got a type.
Washington.
Josh.
I also have him going to Washington. Free agents, when they change teams, a lot of times they stay in division. So
what is Washington like?
Yeah.
Old, white, washed up Philadelphia.
I mean, we talked about this. They utilize their tight end in the red zone. That is where Dallas Goedert shined last season.
So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I wasn't sure where I was going to have Goddard. I talked myself into it during the episode when I was looking those numbers up. I was like, oh, this is like the Dallas Goedert landing spot. So.
Yeah, I think he played his way out of Philly. They're not going to have the money in Washington. I believe is 6th in available cap space.
But guys, he needs his 2.5-year stint in Arizona.
Nah,
that's where all tight ends wind up at some point.
Yeah, before he goes to Washington. David Njoku, Chris.
If I had to pick, unfortunately for him, I could see Njoku either winding up with somebody like. No, actually, now that I take it back, because I was going to say that I was thinking that he might wind up.
Say the Browns.
No, not the Browns. But Pittsburgh could actually wind up like grabbing a guy like I could see Pittsburgh taking on
in
David
division.
Njoku. Yeah, I don't think that. Honestly, at this point, after the Joe Flacco trade to like in division trade to Cincinnati, I think a lot of that stuff is like kind of gone away.
Ryan.
Oh, he's going home. Miami.
I thought you meant to Africa.
Oh God!
Christ. I was like, what?
He's getting out of the
cold ass
school.
No. I got out of that
cold ass Cleveland weather.
Yeah, where he went to school at.
I think he meant back to the village. Beach. I was like, okay, sure.
It's like, that mean he's retiring and just like going back home?
Going back to the village, but going back to be the fucking chief.
Yeah, the big chief.
Sure, go home. All right, retirement. See ya.
Miami.
Josh.
I also have him going to Miami.
You think they
pay this motherfucker to the Patriots, please? And
actually, I would not hate him in New England.
He can block and he's a receiver.
Yeah.
That is the ideal Josh McDaniels tight end, except guys, he's not white. So that won't happen.
Yeah, that's gonna be the tough part.
Miami, I think he'd fit well in Philadelphia as well. So
yeah,
I agree.
Chickasee Okonkwo, Chris.
Honestly, I would love to see him in LA. Rams.
Okay.
Ryan.
Denver.
Josh.
I actually put Okonkwo with the 49ers.
I don't mind that.
I think with Kittle's Achilles injury, I think that they're going to need some depth there. And even if they do bring back Jake Tongas, you need somebody that can stretch the field. Like we said, Okonkwo can do that. He's a very athletic tight end. And I think he would fit really well.
What do you mean? They have Brandon Ayuk.
System. They're not going to have Brandon Ayuk.
No? Oh, crazy. So Ryan, remind me again. He was in a contract year. Then what happened?
Got hurt.
Got paid.
He got hurt.
So he got paid, and then what happened?
Got hurt.
Yeah. And then what happened after that?
Stopped showing up to.
Oh my god, guys, it's crazy.
He wants to drive around holding an ice cream cone.
Yeah,
like something
and let it smell on his hand because he's a psychopath.
It's almost like if you listen to the show and listen to the guy in the top box here, he could have told you literally the exact route that Brandon Ayuk was gonna fucking take.
In all seriousness, that video was weird, and I hope Brandon Ayuk is getting help if he needs it.
So. Yeah, I don't know if that. I just saw maybe like a 3-second clip of it. I don't know if it was a bit or if it's for real or
apparently
whatever.
He didn't talk the entire time. He just held the ice cream cone.
Guys, it's the electrical substation. They really just need to move the practice facility.
It's wild.
Everything's getting fucked up. Travis Kelce, we're all assuming Chiefs or bust. So Chris, is he Chiefs or retirement?
It's Chiefs or Taylor Swift. One of the two.
Okay, Ryan.
Taylor Swift.
Okay, Josh.
That'd be my preference.
I think he returns for the Chiefs.
I think he goes one more year and then he's out.
Yeah.
I think he goes one more year and then he's done.
I can't see him ending on that note. The Chiefs have not had a losing season since 2012.
Yeah, but he has a lot going on off the field.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But again, it's that competitor mentality. You don't want to go out on that note.
But I guess even at this point, and this is why I'm almost kind of thinking to what Ryan was saying, that he might hold them hostage. They haven't done much of anything at this point. Yeah, they trade away Trent McDuffie and they get some extra draft picks. They restructure Mahomes' contract to free up some more cap space. But it's just, what are they going to do over the next, I would say, free agency and the draft for us to, for even Kelce to really think that this roster is going to be able to get them back to the Super Bowl. Because right now, trading away your top corner ain't going to do it. And the rumors of them trying to make a splash at running back, them potentially picking up Kenneth Walker. Okay, cool. But what's that going to mean for their offensive line? They have a couple of holes there at least. Whatever's going to happen with Rice.
All I know is, remember when they traded an all-pro corner and Marcus Peters and then won 3 Super Bowls?
Well, that's because Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
Patrick Mahomes blacked out for 3
But again, maybe that's Kelsey's mentality. A healthy Mahomes, we have a shot at the Super Bowl.
Marcus Peters was also not good when he left.
I'm just like, their weddings on June 13th.
I've seen Trent McDuffie not good either, and people still love him. So
I am not a Trent McDuffie defender.
That's my point, Joe. Like, you're defending.
But here's the thing: Peters was consistently good in Kansas City. Like,
yeah, he was good.
Consistently.
Yeah,
it does scream a little
bit. We can all talk the competitor thing. Yeah, I think we could all agree. No offense, the Chiefs have not gotten the best from Travis Kelce over the last 2 seasons.
Yes,
he's getting married.
Same thing for Chris Jones. I mean, they haven't gotten the best out of Chris. I mean,
but what I'm getting at though is Kelce is then getting married this summer. The Chiefs aren't getting the best Travis Kelce come August. At some point, Travis Kelce, maybe with the urging of his brand new wife, is going to be like, this just ain't it anymore. And that's what I see happening. So.
Yeah. He just shows up during preseason, like, all right, guys, let's run it back.
That's my concern is what's going to happen. But,
yeah. They'll be like, dude, you're overweight.
And he's going to be like, yeah, I've been that for the last 2 fucking years.
Yeah. Right. He's been overweight and out of shape the last couple of years. Yeah,
I'm gonna hit this Ozempic real quick. I'll be right
back.
Right.
Guys, him and his quarterback's also been slightly overweight and out of shape the last couple of years too.
Hey, it works for Mahomes.
Yeah. I'd say, Mahomes can rock that dad bod for as long as he wants to. That man will still be an MVP candidate.
Oh yeah, I just think if he was
that arm is in perfect shape.
Right?
Are we sure?
Oh come on.
He's lost touch on his deep ball, and you cannot deny that.
Or he doesn't have the receivers.
Is it the touch or the receivers just suck?
He doesn't have the arm strength anymore that he's had 2 or 3 years ago.
I don't know about arm strength. I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, look at it. Because none of the fact that, like, yes, the receivers aren't as good as when Tyreek Hill was in his prime. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
And
Kelce happened to be in his prime.
Yeah, but Kelce also wasn't 40 yards down the field. Kelce was traditionally within that like mid-range.
10 to 15.
Yes, 10 to 15, 20 if we're really extending it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mahomes has his deep ball. Like, it's not A+ anymore. I think it's like a B right now. And
all right, I got to see it.
Go look at the watch the tape.
I'll go back and watch the tape.
Like, on his incompletions, just see where the ball lands. Just see where it lands.
All right.
Go look at how far his deep ball went in 22 and go look at how far his deep ball went in 25. They're drastically different. Drastically different.
Like Drew Brees
got 10 yards.
Hates Drew Brees, hates Ohio, and now says Patrick Mahomes sucks at the deep ball. I'm just compiling a list of these.
Chris,
takes.
Welcome to my 51 weeks a year. This is the shit I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Well, I guess 40 weeks a year.
Ryan,
works now,
Ryan.
I'm not going to have this fight. We'll have it again in 2 weeks. Or
how much have I been wrong?
You're wrong about Patrick Mahomes, plain and simple.
I really don't think I am. He lost a touch on his deep ball. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I'll say to the end of time, Tom Brady had a horrible deep ball.
All right, let's move on. We're over an hour, and we're taking up Chris's time.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. Yeah. Josh just wants to hear me shut up. Could Goddard fit with the Rams? He's white, so.
Could you imagine though, Goddard and
Devontae
Devontae Adams in the red zone?
That's what I'm saying. Like that'd be
Kieran Williams. Like that would be a nasty red zone offense.
Yeah, I think that'd be a solid fit.
7 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford would be like back-to-back MVP runs. Because he would lead the league.
I can just imagine the no-look passes, like looking Adams' way, going to Goddard, looking Goddard's way, going to Adams. Like that would be
that, and they just have a Puka jet sweep, and then everybody's screwed.
Yep,
he's white.
But yeah, I think that'd be honestly that would be a solid fit. That would essentially just be like Tyler Higbee plus, just slotting him into essentially that role that they wanted to have for Higbee. So yeah, I think that'd be a solid fit for Goddard in LA.
Kill Devontae Adams' value.
I don't think it would though.
I'm joking. I made that joke last year that Devontae Adams was basically
just tack on 10 more touchdowns to Stafford's total and everything.
I was going to say that probably just means Puka's only going to score 6 like he normally does, but
yeah, he'll have like 1,300 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns instead of 1,310.
Actually, it was closer to 1,700 this year, or over 1,700.
Oh yeah, over 17. Yeah,
and Devontae Adams will have 10 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Right. He'll have 500 yards and 15 touchdowns.
I think Adams had a stat line this year: two receptions, 7 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that was the stat line this year.
Yeah, I had
Pretty
what was it? I had the stat because I talked about it on the Yahoo show at some point. He had it was like 30 of his targets or something like that were just from inside the 5-yard line.
Ryan brought that up at some point. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I still think it's crazy. He had 14 receiving touchdowns and didn't catch a touchdown for almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Guys, that is wild.
2 catches, 7 yards.
Stafford could have had over 50 touchdowns if Devontae Adams plays the full season.
Yeah. Adams really was he had the tight end type scoring where it's like, you're not getting any yards from him. You will get those touchdowns, but you're not going to get too many yards from him.
This is the question is just a comment from Millie, but yes, CeeDee Lamb did turn McDuffie into McMuffin.
Yeah, he was getting chopped up a little bit.
I never understood the Trent McDuffie hype.
I mean, to Joe's point, Joe, a notorious hater of all NFL corners, the wide receivers are always going to beat the corners playing.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we're touting a guy who came in as a zone corner that he's like a lockdown man coverage guy. He's not. That is not his game. He's a fantastic zone corner. That's what he came in as from Washington. And everyone's like, oh, no, he's lockdown. No, he's not. No. You want to go watch lockdown? Go watch Christian Gonzalez in the fucking playoffs. That's lockdown. Go watch Pat Surtain tape. That's lockdown. Trent McDuffie is nowhere near that.
And it's never what he was supposed to be.
No, exactly. All right, last thing we'll talk about combine notes on tight ends, Chris. What did we see? What did we like? Who ran fast? Who's going to inevitably just suck in the NFL? Continue.
So I think the global takeaway from the combine, and something that we've been talking about throughout the show, is just this trend of these tight ends that we can always talk ourselves into having, let's say, even 3, 4, 5 targets a week are enough for us that if we need to have them for a spot start, if you don't wind up drafting your Trey McBrides, your Brock Bowers, or whomever, you don't get the tight end that lands in Kansas City, that there's a way for you to kind of cobble together enough weeks that you can get by at the tight end position. And with the way that a lot of these guys ran at the combine, and also with how the league is shifting, I think there's enough smoke so that even though folks will look at the 40 times and be like, okay, well, that's not always going to translate to fantasy production, or at least if you're looking at it from a data standpoint, 40 times is really like the second or third thing, along with draft capital, that you would really use in order to say that, hey, this player is going to translate from the college to the pros. Yeah. But like I was saying, the way that teams are using tight ends at this point, you could see a case for it. Let's say if Kenyon Sadiq, who ran that 4.3, he winds up getting drafted to almost any place that has at least a need at the position. You would assume if he's going to wind up getting early round draft capital, he's going to be on the field. He's going to be getting routes. And again, with how the league is kind of shifting to using more tight ends on the field at the same time, I could see him kind of breaking out and having at least not necessarily a Brock Bowers, Harold Fannin type of season, but let's say a almost top 12-ish type season. Yes, I could absolutely see that. Because again, over the last 3 seasons, it was something that I wrote up in my combine news and notes piece. It's over on fantasylife.com right now, went up yesterday. 11 personnel usage, like the whole Sean McVay wave of having 3 wide receivers out on the field. Back in 2023, average use of 11 personnel is about 63%. That's down to 57% as of this season. At the same time, percentage of using 12 personnel in the field, that's went from 21% up to about 24% just this past year. And we saw that because everyone was talking about, again, Sean McVay used to 13 personnel, trying to have more tight ends on the field. I mean, the Bills were trying to do that essentially with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, although they couldn't really figure out which tight end they wanted to use. And Dalton Kincaid was injured throughout most of it. But also the conversation about teams not necessarily using their third wide receiver essentially being a tight end. JJ Zachariason and Matt Harmon, they had that conversation, I believe, just a couple of weeks ago, or I think it was maybe in February or late January, about the death of the slot receiver, because we've seen more teams now start to shift their wide receiver one into the slot, a la Jamar Chase, a la Justin Jefferson, so that your traditional tight end or your traditional slot receivers, you don't see those types of guys anymore, like your Wan'Dale Robinsons and those types of guys. Like, yeah, that some of them still exist in pockets, but really now it's just your tight end filling that role. So when we see guys like Kenyon Sadiq run fast, or who is it? It was the three guys that really stuck out to me. Sadiq, of course, for the 40 time, Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. And the third guy that I'll bring up that I think might go under the radar, but probably not just because of his 40 time, John Michael Gillenborg from Wyoming. I mean, those three guys, I think from an athletic testing standpoint, and also some of their production, trying to remember where Wyoming for Gillenborg. From a production and athletic standpoint, if we wind up getting the draft capital that matches the hype that we got from last week at the Combine, I could, again, talk myself into not necessarily, again, a Harold Fannin-esque type performance in 2026, but at least if they go to a place that has the need at the position, even if it sucks. So let's say even if one of those guys wind up falling to, I don't know, the Jets, okay, fine. Could I still see them getting 4 or 5 targets per week? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to suck. I mean, I'm probably not going to want to roster anybody from the Jets, but if the targets at the tight end position are there, okay, fine. I might wind up investing in them at that point. I mean, same thing for if any of those guys were to fall to, I don't know. I mean, after that, I mean, Ryan, you're talking about somebody going to Denver. Yeah. I mean, that offense is fairly spread out at this point because you have at least a number of pass catchers. You have a mobile quarterback. You have at least a inefficient, but a running back in RJ Harvey that can work both as a receiver and a runner. So even if they do wind up investing at the position to the draft, could you see him getting 3, 4, 5 targets per week and maybe getting used in the red zone? Yes. Yeah, you could see that.
Yep.
So at least that was my general takeaway from the Combine, where I've been burned by athletic tight ends in the past. Talk about Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox. I mean, insert name
you're naming Ryan's 2 favorite tight ends.
I mean, they're just
OJ
guys.
Howard was another one.
Yes,
Howard.
It's those
He had
guys.
one good season.
Yeah, they're just like they're massive humans that are moving faster than just it doesn't make sense as you're watching it. And so it's just like whenever they get to the NFL, I'm going to have them on my dynasty roster. And we've done this year in and year out. But I do think now with this general shift towards incorporating that position just more and more, and these pockets of teams that start to utilize them, especially in the areas that matter, like the red zone, that's where some of these guys, especially these speed score freaks, if they wind up falling into those types of positions, at least this season, I'd be willing to go back to the well and draft at least a couple of those guys.
Yeah, love it.
I can't get behind the college football of 0.005% of players actually make it to the NFL. And we're talking about, again, like you've been burned all this time. It doesn't matter until they get there. And even when they get there,
they might not work.
Well, but I mean, Joe, that's that basically. I mean, you have 140 plus college teams and you have 32 NFL teams. That's
great.
why.
Give me the Power 5. Give me the Power 5. 1%. 1% of that 1% is good.
Like, not what we're talking about, but I heard a crazy stat that if you took every Major League Baseball player ever, alive and dead,
I know the stat's insane.
It's like fewer than 21,000. They wouldn't fill.
They wouldn't fill any MLB stadium.
Okay,
it's an insane statistic.
That
yes, since like I think it's like the 1860s is when the
like
Cardinals
an official
began.
MLB player. Yeah.
Wow.
I think the smallest stadium is Fenway because it's so old. 37,000 seats wouldn't even fill Fenway to about 60% capacity. Insane stat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane statistic.
Yeah,
they would have filled Steinbrenner Field, where the Rays had to play all of last season. But it was for a season a Major League Stadium. So
okay, well then it'll fill Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, where the fucking Athletics play. So Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to derail us at the
no,
end. No,
I when you started saying it, I'm like, I know the stat, and it's one of the craziest.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Because the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a fastball.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. There's no question in my mind. That's the hardest thing.
Hitting a curveball ain't any easier.
Well, yeah.
That's why I stopped playing baseball. I couldn't hit a curveball.
Yeah.
You see a 95 mile an hour, pew, and then it goes 70, and it cuts on you. Yeah. I sit there on a baseball diamond every day, and I sit there. I'm like, I don't know how you even.
I don't know how they do it.
Yep. Those guys threw a 96 mile an hour fastball and a 92 mile an hour split fastball. So it looked the exact same, and then it just dipped.
Yeah.
And I asked our batters, I'm like, what do you do? They're like, you just sit fastball and pray.
Yeah.
Literally, our guy who was batting 400. I was like, how do you hit that? He's like, I literally sit there and just hope it goes right down the middle. Like, I'm like, all right, you hit 400. I have to believe you.
He's describing how I play MLB The Show. Take until they make a mistake.
Fully. Literally, he's just swinging middle every time and just hoping that ball doesn't go. And just dip.
I love that
every time. Chris, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you every year.
Always.
Oh, of course.
It was probably like, you add a lot of in-depth and insight. Thank God, because this would be a 10-minute show.
If this were me, Josh, and Joe, this would be we could run a YouTube short.
Probably.
It'd be a 45-minute show about Ryan's MLB of fucking hitting the split.
MLB The Show.
But nah, man, always happy to come on. I mean, I always say this even off camera, but you guys know me, and if you guys ever need a guest, just give me a call. I love to shoot the shit, like talk about ball or whatever. I know it's the slower time, slower. I'll put that in heavy air quotes, slower time of the year, but still, it's always fun to try and think about how the news that we're hearing is going to impact, like how we're going to act in June when we start thinking about drafting, in July when we're starting to put our teams together, even once we for the dynasty aspect, once we start talking about doing our rookie drafts. And of course, when August comes around and then all hell breaks loose afterwards. I mean, it's fun to be able to, at least at this point in the season, have a chance to breathe and like kind of let these takes just toss some takes out and then just step back and be like, all right, that might be dumb. All right. But still, we've got time to think about it and let the league kind of come to us. And then afterwards, I mean, we'll see how things shake out through free agency and the draft. So no, it's a fun time of the season for sure.
Indeed.
Boom. You follow Chris at Chris Allen FFWX, Ryan at the Fantasy 5, Josh at the One Huntonian. Don't follow me. Just follow the Party Animals. And if you're bored this weekend, the Party Animals play at 7 o'clock and 1 o'clock on YouTube, on the Party Animals YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. And you'll probably see me in the background doing shit. Go team.
I get so excited when I see Joe at these games. Like I literally took a
I'm
picture.
to check it out.
Time.
Yeah.
I took a picture one time when I saw him on my YouTube. It was like, Joe, I saw you because
guys, I'll be on ESPN next week. So
hell yeah.
find me on ESPN at the Superdome, where I will record myself throwing a ball further than Drew Brees ever did in an NFL game. On the
way to bring it full circle. Well done. That's a good host right there. That's a good host right there.
Gonna pack my football. And we're going to have a great... Actually, our guys bring footballs anyway. I'll just steal one of theirs.
There you go.
For Ryan, Josh, Chris, myself, you can follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL, clubfantasyffl.com. Always remember, defense wins championships. Offense wins fantasy football. We will see you next